Well, everybody in years 10 and 11 will study science because it's a core subject. And there are many reasons why we do that, apart from the fact that science is obviously a tremendous subject. Students will learn not only information about the world we live in, but also they'll develop a whole range of different skills. I mean, when you look at science and you look at learning in science, it always starts with a question. It could be things like, you know, why is the sky blue? I've got a battery here, how come it works? Yeah? How do my lungs actually get oxygen into my body? And why do spectacles actually make me see better? So we always start off with a question, and that means that students will develop problem-solving skills, yeah, that they'll be able to use throughout their life. They'll learn how to make observations, make predictions of what will happen, and form conclusions based upon what they see. They'll learn to experiment, trying different things, and it encourages them to be creative. Yeah? Also, communication skills develop because they have to communicate both verbally and in writing their understanding of what it is that they're actually doing. But more importantly, studying science actually develops a love of actually learning and exploring. They learn things on their own, they learn the thing that they've discovered, and that's powerful. It resonates inside you that you've actually been able to find a solution to something. But there's also a link to other subjects, yeah? So like art and music. Sometimes someone may examine works of art with more interest after studying and understanding how colour works, yeah? How your eyes see colour. You may notice the different tones in orchestra instruments and you may be able to relate that to studying sound waves. An understanding of science gives you an interest in everyday activities, yeah? You can look around when you're having a walk and ask yourself questions, or even when you're shoveling snow, yeah? And I think it's a fantastic subject for all students to study. Okay, so we've got 2 years of studying science, and obviously that breaks down into what we call the 3 sciences. So they'll study biology, physics and chemistry. Yeah? And the way that science works, it builds on topics that they've covered earlier in their school years. So we'll look at things like how the body works, how it fights disease, how the human beings are part of an entire ecosystem known as the planet Earth and how we fit into that. We'll look at how chemical reactions work and our understanding of them, and how they're a fundamental part of modern life. We'll look at how energy makes things work and how we move it around using electricity and how we can use waves to move it. Overall, over the 2 years, you should end up with a very, very good understanding of how the world works, and hopefully at the end of it you'll be empowered to actually use that knowledge to help you in your future life. Obviously we come down to assessment, and what all students will do is at the end of year 11 they will take 2 exams in science per science. So they'll do 2 exams in chemistry, 2 in biology and 2 in physics, okay? Most students will go on and then they'll end up with what's called a combined science qualification, which is equivalent to 2 GCSEs, so think of it being like a double award. Some students could also study some additional material, and they will then have slightly longer exams, but those exams will then give them GCSEs in the separate sciences, so they'll have biology GCSE, chemistry GCSE and a physics GCSE, so 3 GCSEs in total. Well, there's very few jobs I think that are out there that don't actually incorporate some activities that are linked to science, okay? Whether it's fixing a car engine or whether it's learning how to cook, those kind of things. But obviously after year 11 you can go on and study science at higher qualifications, so there are A-levels that you can do in each of the 3 sciences, and there are BTEC courses that you can do, and obviously there are science-related college courses that are available to you. Okay? What's really interesting often is when people are looking to recruit, they're really interested in your science qualifications, because it gives you that capacity of knowing, well, can they solve problems? If they're good at science, generally they can solve problems. If they've developed the skills on how being able to work independently, that's also a good skill that people are looking for. So it'll help you get a job, but it'll also give you opportunities to study science further on. You could even go on and do degrees in the separate sciences at university.